today's video, I'm responding to a viewer question on this channel. A young man wrote into me to ask a very important question about maybe not being the best his partner's ever had. I think you're going to want to see this video if you're a man struggling with retroactive jealousy. My name is Zachary Stockill, and since 2013, I've been helping men and women from all over the world overcome retroactive jealousy and save their relationships. If you'd like more information about my work or you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please visit my website at retroactivejealousy.com. Okay, I received a comment on a YouTube video recently that gave me pause. My heart kind of goes out to this guy. I assume it's a guy. P writes, "How can you be okay with your girlfriend saying her ex was a better lover?" Okay, Mr. P. I think sometimes viewers of this channel get the wrong idea about me. And that's my fault. That's on me, because I should be communicating more messages more frequently, or certain messages more frequently. What I mean by that is, I think sometimes people think that I feel that no matter your partner's behavior in the past, no matter what they say to you in the present, no matter what your current relationship looks like, no matter if you're unhappy, if you're struggling with anything that we might consider retroactive jealousy, then you should stay in that relationship. And needless to say, I don't believe that for a second. Over the years, I've worked with over 1,000 coaching clients one-on-one. And sometimes, it's rare, but it does happen. Sometimes, after working together for some time, we start sharing ideas, they share their story, and I share some feedback. We go through a bunch of exercises. Sometimes at the end of the day, these people realize, these clients of mine realize that they're in the wrong relationship. Their needs, their boundaries are fundamentally at odds with their partner's needs and boundaries, and they end up moving on from that relationship. So that is to say, of course, sometimes walking away is the best choice for everyone involved. And I mentioned that as well, the best choice for everyone involved. And that seems to annoy certain guys because they want to leave their partner and they want to completely destroy their partner's heart and all the rest. And it's like, if you're in a bad relationship, if you're in the wrong relationship, it's not serving anyone to stay in that relationship, even if your partner's very happy, because they will start to feel on some level, if they don't already feel it, that you're unhappy, and that's going to lead to all kinds of drama and complications. You get my drift. Sometimes walking away is the best choice for everyone involved. Now that brings us back to P's comment. P asks me, how can you be okay with your girlfriend saying that her ex was better in bed? If you are asking me personally how I would handle that situation, how I would feel about that, it depends a lot on the nature of the relationship that I have with this person saying this thing to me. So if this was a casual kind of relationship, or if it was a casual situation, I probably wouldn't care all that much, but of course that would impact my perception of whether or not I have a future with this woman, because if we're not compatible sexually, then it's gonna last maybe for a little while, but it probably won't last over the long term. If we both value a dynamic sexual connection, that's something I value very highly, and I assume in this hypothetical situation, someone I would attract probably feels the same way. So, this relationship kind of has a shelf life, basically, if a woman ever said that to me. On the other hand, if this was a serious relationship, if I'd been with a woman for a very long time, and she was my girlfriend, or dare I say even my wife, and she said that to me, if you're asking me personally, I need to be very honest with you. Could I stay in that relationship? For me, the answer is probably no, but with a very important caveat. A couple of caveats, actually. One of those caveats is every relationship hits bumps in the road. In other words, you're going to have dips in the frequency of your sex life. Your sex life is not always going to be a 10 out of 10. Maybe for a little while it's a 7 out of 10, and then it's an 11 out of 10, and then it's an 8, that kind of thing. You're going to have little dips. And if this is some temporary thing, to be honest, I don't think I could come back from hearing something like that, to be honest. And I think that would be pretty tough for me. But is it possible that potentially I could work my way through that somehow? Maybe, I don't know, perhaps. However, if this is an ongoing trend, if my girlfriend or my wife fundamentally believed that someone else was better for her, eventually I would hit a point, I think, where I would have no choice but to leave her. But again, here's another very important caveat. I value a dynamic sexual connection extremely highly in my relationship. I will spare you all of the gory details, but that's something that's very important to me. Not everyone feels the same way, male or female. So sometimes, two people, they either don't value sex all that highly, it does happen, or one person values sex way more than the other person, right? Each of us are not one-dimensional. Each individual is a constellation of different attributes and bad habits and good attributes and all these different things. No one is truly one-dimensional. And maybe your partner values things way more than sex. Maybe they value friendship or empathy or communication or shared interests or whatever. There are people like that who value a lot more than just sex, right? However, for the rest of us, if sex is very high on our list of values in a relationship, would that be an issue? Yes, I think it definitely would. So to the person who wrote the comment that inspired this video, what would you do or how would you react if your partner said that their ex was better in bed than you? Honestly, my friend, that's on you, and that's going to be on you to determine if you can live with that or not. Because if you are a man who values sex highly, if that's very important to you, and you feel like fundamentally your partner just doesn't value it the same way, or perhaps fundamentally you're not sexually compatible, it's going to be up to you to decide whether or not you can live with that. And as I say all the time, sometimes moving on is the best option for everyone involved. I guess my only advice, aside from all that, would be don't make this a rushed decision. Because to be honest, some guys would hear that and they'd just leave immediately. But, maybe she was having a bad day. I don't know. This isn't a coaching relationship. I don't know all the details, so I can't give some blanket answer. But whatever decision you make, take the time to think about it very carefully. You can work with a therapist or coach. That can also be very useful. But above all, think about it carefully and decide whether or not you can live with that dynamic moving forward. And if your partner doesn't find you as attractive as you wish she would, if you don't have that degree of sexual compatibility that you want, I promise you can find a woman who fits a little better. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you benefited from this video, please click the like button below. You can also leave a comment. Tell me what you think. You can also provide a suggestion for new videos. I always appreciate that as well. And while you're at it, please be sure you are subscribed to this channel to be notified of new videos moving forward. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you again soon.